Well, good morning, folks, and welcome aboard to my Tiki bar rant. And we just start the morning off because I'm going to have a busy day today, folks. All day, busy. But I figured before I have breakfast, I address you. I think there's some things in the news that is concerning that we should talk about and kind of get into with regards to how the election was rigged, folks. I think you and I are getting to see more and more every day and how the elections of 2020 was stolen, and simply how we didn't take much of the House and much of the Senate in the re-election 2 years into Biden's administration. Well, here it is, folks. Mark Zuckerberg has come to a Jesus moment. Indeed, he has. And he admitted that he was being pressured by the Biden-Harris, listen to that, his words, not mine, the Biden-Harris administration. He's been influenced by them. Good morning, Ann. And influenced by them to take down content, even though maybe satire, he took it down. Being pressured by the FBI to take down information, even with regards to COVID. I went through a lot of pushback, even with friends, folks, when it came to COVID, and I was proven right again. And I'm always proven right when I follow my gut. This is why I don't connect myself with any more groups. I do things on my own now, because I find out that my information is a little bit more solid. So we talk about Mark Zuckerberg's influence, and he did admit it. I mean, let's face it, folks. He did admit that he was pressured. That means the Hunter Biden laptop. How do you think that would have fixed the election had it come out real and not referred to as Russian disinformation? How do you think that would have affected most of the uninformed voters that would have heard that across all platforms? But not only has the platforms been compromised that we involve ourselves with regards to social media, also the media, folks. Think about how CNN and MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC, PBS, and late night comedy, and being a stand-up comedian myself, I'm going to throw them under the bus, and late night comedy all came out to destroy and to control and to manipulate fair elections. We as Americans take pride in one thing, and it's called freedom, folks. Freedom to speak, freedom to assemble, and freedom to pass information which we feel as though is correct. And our gut was right. Good morning, John. And our gut was right. Your gut was right. We had said one thing. The Hunter Biden laptop was reality. This is a guy, Hunter Biden, that had obviously an addiction problem because there was so much money. He didn't have to worry about where his next fix was coming from. He was getting money from foreign countries to have influence with his dad. He lived a lavish lifestyle. Why? Simply because, folks, Daddy provided him the money, and he was like the pimp that went out there and grabbed the money for Daddy, the big guy. Well, we were all told that was Russian misinformation, right? Every bit of it. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mark Zuckerberg coming out there and admitting it, and I'm all right with that. But, still, even after all the admission and being very involved here on Facebook and the like with many accounts, I was punished because I shared a photo of Hunter Biden with a cracked cigarette in his mouth, dressed in a diaper. That photo, by the way, showed up on all news platforms at one time, even Fox News, OAN. That photo showed up. But when I placed it here, what did they call it? It was like over-sexualized or something. And I was banned for 1 month from go on live video on my other platform. I have several here. So I switched most of my live now coming here. Now, I've been reinstated at my other platform. But the fact is, you got to be able to take reality, and if you're shadow banning me, and if you're going after content that is factual and then punishing me, what's that say about you? What's the matter? You afraid to lose a game of Monopoly? You afraid to lose a game of chess or checkers? So you're that type of person now. When I'm kicking your ass in the game, you go put your hand under the board, flip it up, and it goes all up in the air, and you say, now nobody wins? Is that what you do? A lot of people are hurting right now when you go to the grocery store. You know who's responsible for that? The media, the Democrats, and platforms, such as the one I'm using now, that will hold back information that would make people go out there and vote accordingly, so their pocketbooks wouldn't be robbed, so they could afford housing, so they could turn around and enjoy life a little bit from the spoils of their daily work. Many folks can't even retire. Why? Because simply put, they have to work several jobs in order to meet the tax burden of the left. You got Kamala Harris out there restructuring her life. Do you really believe her? Do you really believe her? The media being so disconnected and don't care about your future. Their power is more important. The power is more important than your livelihood, your freedom. Take a moment and think about what Mark Zuckerberg admitted to. I'm not going after him. He was pressured. He had to think about what he was doing. He was being pressured by both ends. Did you know Mark Zuckerberg said he's going to have another come to Jesus moment and said that he's not going to make any political donations? That's either side. I'm good with that. And I'm good with the fact that he came out and admitted what we all knew. But once you admit it and you've learned, like if you touch a match and you get burnt, but then you light another match and you touch it and you get burnt again, did you really learn your lesson? Or are you just going to come out here and say, hey, I'm sorry I was influenced like that, but I'm still going to do it? Because that's what's happening. And I don't know if you people have experienced it, but I have experienced it. And as a digital influencer on many social media platforms, because this has become a business now. Let's call it for what it is. This become a business now. But I try to teach. I try, when I come on these platforms, it is not me looking to assemble people to do violence upon others, because that's a non-starter with me, folks. Good morning, Randy. It's a non-starter with me. Violence is never the answer. But if we're getting attacked, we're going to have to protect ourselves. That's the Second Amendment, right, folks? Nobody takes out their gun. A cop doesn't like to use their gun unless they're presented with no other choice. The cop wants to go home to his family at night. He doesn't want to have a bagpipe funeral while his family's crying in the back as they process to the graveyard to bury him. When somebody points a gun to you, or somebody's beating you to a pulp, and you have no options but to defend yourself, well, that's what we do. When I come here on this platform, I say the best form of fighting them back is going to a voting booth. That's right, John. You go to a voting booth. And if you can vote early, then do it. I've been never a fan of that, by the way. I've never been a fan of that. I like going to the polls and getting in their faces. I love it. That is the way it should always be. Election day should be election day, not election month or election 2 months. Election day should be election day, and simply because there are a lot of things, and there is a game played. Look at Kamala Harris, what she's doing, or Kamala Harris. And oh, by the way, I have lots of video with her calling herself Kamala. So we're going to have fun with that. So I saw a news person come out and say, "You're going to pronounce her name. It's Kamala." He did it, phonetically. And then I sent him back a video saying, "Well, really? Well, then why does she call herself Kamala?" My dear friends, it is, it's amazing that even some media doesn't do their research. I come out here and I tell you the voting booth is the way to go. If you can vote early, vote early. You want to vote on election day, go vote on election day. But before you do that, make sure you call your friends. As a campaign manager, my job was to make sure that everybody who said they would vote for my candidates, I had a list of them, and I made sure that my poll checkers checked them off when they showed up at those polling places. I wanted to know they showed up. And if I didn't see them by a certain time, we would make calls and see to it if they needed a ride or if there's been a change or whatnot. And many a times my poll workers went out and fetched voters to bring them to polling places to vote, because two things happened. One, they didn't realize the polls close at 8 now and not 9. So they're waiting the last minute. Two, they didn't have a car because they figured, well, the car's coming and we'll jump in our ride before 9, and that's okay. A lot of times people's vehicles broke down. Something happened. Well, whatever happened, folks, we made sure we contacted them. And the beautiful thing with the modern day voting system is that everybody has a cell phone. So imagine you were out, you were having a dinner, you were planning on going to vote, but then you got into your car, it didn't stop. Now, if I was calling you on your landline phone at home, it would ring and maybe go to voicemail. But now when I call you, it's on your mobile phone. And I give you that example because that once happened too. I said, where are you guys? Aren't you voting? We're here. I will never forget it. We're here at the Olive Garden. We had a dinner. We figured we'd leave there and go out and vote. But my car won't start. We're waiting for AAA. I says, okay, here's what we're going to do. Which Olive Garden are you at? I sent my poll workers to pick them up. They kept one person back there to watch and wait for AAA, took them to the polling places, voted, took them back, switched them out, took them back. Yeah, folks, that's what called getting out the vote is. And I share those stories with you because in the years that I've been doing this, I always made sure that my poll checkers were there to do legitimate calls, legitimate go getting out the vote, not let's see if we can get a dead person to vote. Not let's see if we can cheat. It's never cheating for us folks. Democrats do that very, very well. And don't you forget it. They do it very, very well. I've lived it. I've shared those stories with you. Even our former mayor, deceased now, Buddy Cianci, would talk about the dead voting. So you make sure this election year, because you're going to have one chance to save America. And I have full confidence that Donald Trump is going to win. You're going to have one chance to save America, folks. And that's this election. At least we could put a plug into the stopper. Maybe we save it for 4 years. Right? We save it for 4 years. And then we have to fight again because don't forget, Donald Trump is only in for one term. But so desperate. Sorry about that noise. It's garbage pickup day. They should head out to our State House. There's a lot of garbage there at the State House. You could throw in the back of that truck and dump it in the dump. Folks, remember what I say to you. Getting out there and voting is a very important thing this year. We got one term president, and that's Donald Trump. So bad is America that we need that one term president. So bad. Well, look what one term did to this country. in the 3.5 years, look what one term did to our country. Good morning, Corey and Linda. Look what one term did to our country. We have people that can't admit they're a male or female. We have children having their genitalia stripped of them and puberty blockers and whatnot on children, folks. Do you remember when the law would come after you if you were to discipline your children even by simply spanking them on the behind? But who does worse than that? The Democrats. They don't only spank them on the behind. They ruin their lives forever. And they came after us because we may have disciplined our child by a simple spank on the behind, or putting the fear of God in them so they wouldn't be a common known name at the police station. Democrat Party has influenced themselves in our family life to the point where it's screwed up our nation. We've got to fix that, folks. We have to fix that. With the admission of Mark Zuckerberg saying that he was forced and influenced by the White House, they should go to jail for that. I mean, what he said, people in that White House should go to jail right now, without a doubt. And we're sitting here taking in what we just heard, and we're saying, wow, just think if we had an honest media, where we'd be today. Just think if we had an honest social media, where we'd be today. We'd have a better America. Maybe there wouldn't have been a war around the globe. Donald Trump is right. Excuse me. We would have still lower gas prices. Donald Trump would be leaving office right now because he would have finished his second term that was stolen from him, quite frankly, by the admission, folks, simply by the admission of Mark Zuckerberg saying that he was influenced, changes a lot of votes. That was even in the 2020 re-election. Changes a lot of votes, folks. The lies change a lot of votes. If we had an honest media and an honest social media, gas prices would probably be $1.89 still. Would have been a war in Afghanistan. We wouldn't have pulled out of Afghanistan. There would have been 13 caskets with somebody looking at his wristwatch because he's got to go somewhere, i.e. Joe Biden. There wouldn't be a Kamala Harris saying, oh, I'm really on board with that. We did a great job in Afghanistan. We wouldn't have seen that. How many other children wouldn't have had their genitalia chopped off? How many children in girls' rooms wouldn't have been raped by a young boy pretending to be a girl? How many boys' rooms would not have tampons in it because boys don't ovulate? And if you're a girl pretending to be a boy and going into the boys' room and need a tampon, it's simply because you're a girl and not a boy. You can't get any more reality than that. But you see, on social media and the media and everything, they want you to think you're crazy thinking that way. Just think if we had an honest media and an honest social media, we wouldn't have had to deal with that. We wouldn't have had to deal with watching a man, a father, at a school board meeting get wrestled to the ground by police officers because he went there to complain about his daughter being molested in the girls' room by a boy pretending to be a girl. That's right, folks. How many fathers would sit back and watch their daughters be sexually molested and do nothing? What kind of father would you be if you weren't aggressive about that? What kind of a husband would you be if you weren't aggressive about that? But the pussification of America allows you to sit back and say, hey, rape my daughter, kill my wife, rape my wife. That's all cool. And then you got Tampon Tim putting tampons in the boys' room? I don't know, Tim. Hey, Tim, listen to me, you stupid idiot. Boys don't ovulate. We even can't get pregnant. Oh, but what happens if a girl identifies as a boy? Well, if you identify as a boy, then you're not ovulating, right? So we don't need tampons in the boys' room because You're a boy, right? Bullshit. Bullshit. When you're dead in the woods and they find your skeletal remains and they bring it to the pathology and they have to determine what it is, the science says it's a male or a female. Identification doesn't count. Male or female. That's it. End of story. Don't want to hear it. Shut up. So if we had an honest media and an honest social media, we wouldn't have to contend with that. We wouldn't have to contend with all those students and whatnot being killed by illegal aliens. Look what's happening, folks. Look what's happening in our land. But an dishonest media and dishonest social media shutting us down led to the murders of our American people, the disfiguring of our children in schools when they should be teaching academics and not pubic education. It's public education. The Department of Education should be dismantled, tossed out, thrown out. We don't need to deal with that bullshit anymore. It's America, folks. We have a constitution. We have a right to speak. We have a right to assemble. We have a right to own guns because nobody else is protecting us these days, right? Folks, I talk from the heart. At the end of the day, I always tell you to go out and vote. Violence is never accepted here. But to protect yourself from being killed in a defensive way, well, that's our right to do that. But we shouldn't go broke having to get lawyers or whatnot when we have obviously proof that we had no option. We live in a very sick world right now, folks. LGBTQ, XYZ, LMNOP, and all this. It's all to divide. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you love. I don't care with all that. You want to pretend to be a kitty? Do it on your own. You want to pretend to be a doggy? Do it on your own. You want to pretend to be a girl? Do it on your own. But at the end of the day, you're using the room to go do your bodily functions of elimination as you were born. Don't come in my face and say otherwise. Sorry, it's not acceptable. I'm voting for Donald Trump only to save America. I did it the first time, and I'm going to do it a second time. And third time, actually. I'm voting to save our America from more carnage, more killing, more disfiguring, more the open borders need to be closed. The border czar didn't do her job, folks. At the end of the day, we need to take our country back. There is no other options, folks. Take 10 people to the polling places with you. Will you please? I don't care if you got a flu. You get yourself to the voting booth and you vote. If you got an elderly person in the nursing home, you take the ballot to them. They have to fill it out. Don't let the liberals do it. You take care. You are responsible for your family. You are to get your friends out and vote. And those who want to hate us, let them hate us. I do these rants, folks. I do these always. And I make a disclaimer here. I do not want to see your liberal trolling shit on my rant. If I see it, I'm going to not only eliminate it, I'm going to block you. I'm going to do to you what you've done to us for the last 8 years. You shadow ban us, block us, put us in oblivion. I'm going to block you. I don't care if you're my son, my daughter, my wife, my mother, my father, they're dead. I don't care who you are. This is a warning to you. Put your liberal crap on my wall or on my page. You're going down. Not going to respond to you. I don't want your opinions. I don't want anything to do with you. I have a country to save. The last thing I want to do is hear from you. When I see a liberal wanting to have a conversation with me, I shut you down. I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to re-educate you. I'm not going to change your mind because your ego doesn't allow you to understand how wrong you are. I just walk away from you. You're the crying baby in the toy department that couldn't get your toy. And you're rolling on the floor, and I walked away, and at the end of the day, you're going to have to get up off the floor and follow me, because who else is going to take care of you? I say what I say, folks, and I say it from the heart. And all my friends know that I love them regardless of what side they're on. But twist my neck a little way and say stupid things, I'm going to shut you down. I have no patience for stupidity. I don't suffer fools well. It is what it is. Good morning, Rhonda. It is what it is. So, my dear friends, just had a little rant with you today to kind of bring to you the importance of this election. The importance of everything I do, what you do, our freedom, because if we don't get this right, folks, we're screwed. It's not about the electric car. It's about public transportation, folks. It's not about the electric car. They got billions of dollars to build charging stations. Why didn't that happen? Because the electric car is just to get you off the bullseye. They know the electric car isn't feasible, especially maybe good for a person who does city driving. It's not feasible. There's not enough charging stations. He built 8 with billions of dollars given to him. 8 in the whole country. It's about public transportation, folks. Why do they want us in public transportation? To control our movements and then digitize the dollar. Just imagine you want to go to Washington to protest. Maybe you don't like the fact that they're killing babies out of the womb more now than ever. So you want to go protest. Then you go to use your card because everything is digitized. Oh, no money. Then you want to get on top. Oh, transportation's down. Everything is controlled. They know how you vote. They know your party affiliation. They can control you, folks. You got to stop that. You got to look deep into the picture that's going on here, folks. Good morning, Stephen. Deep. You got to look deep. Oh, it's an electric car. Well, you should have a choice to own one or not. The fact remains, folks, it's not about the electric car. It's about controlling your movements. Obamacare. If you have pre-existing conditions, you're covered. Really? How come my pre-existing condition wasn't covered? Right? I was born with bad hearing. I was a preemie. How come mine wasn't covered, folks? Want to know why? Well, when I went to fight it, and then we had that little conversation after going through subrogation, and she's going, well, I could see you did have pre-existing condition. I said, whoa, excuse me, I thought it was covered. Obamacare, right? Well, there are conditions. Oh, I see here you're a Republican. And I said, whoa. How do you know what party affiliation I am in my medical records? But it's there. And that was the red flag, folks. That was the red flag. And then you want a digitized dollar, public transportation. If your friends are stupid enough to believe all this here, just let them live in their little sandbox all by themselves and let them build cute little castles. Let them caress their body thinking that, they're so right, as they get screwed more and more and more. Screwed. Let them sit back and enjoy them suffering, because that's what's going to happen. Don't try to change their mind, because they're not going to listen to you. Their mind's shut off. When you think you know it all, folks, then there's no room for improvement. Yeah, when you're dealing with a liberal, they think they know it all. Thus, there's no room for improvement. Don't try to change them. Don't try to talk to them. Do like I do. Block them all over social media. Every way you can. shut them down. And if you don't like it that I shut you down, kiss my ass. I'm sure many of you visited my website, artistrybysteve.com. I hope you do. Thank you, GoDaddy, for hosting my site. Thank you so much. And oh, by the way, Upside. I use an Upside. I do. I do have a promo code to offer you, 6MMJUU. That's right, 6MMJUU. You're going to get 25 cents on top of your 20 cents for your first fill up. In 2 days, that money does go in your app. And then once it does, you can move it to your bank book, debit account, PayPal, Amazon, whatever you like. People are making $200, $300, $100. They're making money with this, as I have. It's real money. Use it, folks. Upside. It is a great app. Download it and begin to start earning some money. Now, folks, thank you so much for joining me on my morning rant. It's not in the car, it's at the Tiki bar. And now with the fall coming and the winter, there'll be a different bar. It'll be the Pirate Bar, or maybe the Art Studio. I do have a lot of locations where I could do this. My heart goes out to all you people who have people at home sick and caring for them. We do pray for all of you. It's what we do. We take the high road, folks. A big thank you. Oh, there's Masha. Good morning, Masha. We do a big thank you to a friend that popped in here. Her name is Rhonda and Karen. She's the one who brought to me a beautiful little kitty named Nala, O Kitty Girl. She raises and breeds not only golden doodle doggies, she raises and breeds ragdoll kittens. This is a different breeder than most, folks. A much different breeder than most, because she has her heart in it. She has veterinary care with these. She brings the cat to you and gives you things to care for the kitty. She's a person that makes sure who adopts her little babies are the people who deserve to have them. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. And you got to understand there is a cost to raising with vet bills or whatnot. And Rhonda does that. Does it with love and care. Her heart's in it. She's gone in the past, rescued dogs and cats that were found in a dumpster. She used to do that in the past. She raises these animals. Look her up. Become friends with her here on Facebook. If you're looking to have a little kitty or a dog, she is the girl to go to. Please make sure you look up Rhonda Ann Karen. She's right here on the list. Look her up. Become friends with her. She can help you out. You can have a little furball love in your life. Now, folks, remember, you're going to have friends who will disagree, right, Masha? You're going to have friends who disagree with your opinions on Facebook. They're going to come on your wall. They're going to say nasty things. I will tell you, like I told Masha and I've told other people in person, just block them. Don't even give them a word. Don't have a light. You're welcome, Rhonda. Don't even give them an opportunity to see a response. Quietly block them and walk away. Do not, I don't care if they're friends. I don't care if they're relatives. Block them. You're better off for it. Enjoy your life. Get the poison out of it. Move forward. Block them. Or if you're going to post something, eliminate them from seeing it. You can pick and choose those who won't see your stuff. But if you want to do well with your stuff, you have to go public, as I do. Now, folks, thank you so much, and thank you for all the folks who support me, both with my comedy, with my art, with my music, with my rants, my social media content. I thank you all. Again, say prayers for all those who have hurting loved ones at home with an illness, and say prayers for our country, because, folks, we're going to need it, and we need you to get to that voting booth. We're not going to take the BS anymore. I can't thank you enough for letting me come into your homes, your cars, your laptops, your tablets, or whatever. I will never mislead you. And if I'm wrong, I'm the first person to admit I am. Folks, have a nice day.